Okay, so I think we're going to get started. My name is Charlene Lee. I'm with Forrester Research. I'm an analyst there in our interactive marketing team, and I've been working on this space and social networks for quite a while. And I'm just going to have my panel introduce themselves quickly, and we'll talk about how the panel is going to run. So, Anil?
Hi, my name is Anil Dharni. I'm the Director of Product Management at High5.
Hi, I'm David Jones. I'm the VP of Global Marketing at Friendster.
Hi, I'm Patrick Chanezon. I'm the API evangelist for OpenSocial at Google.
Hi, I'm John McCrea, and I head up marketing at Plaxo.
Okay, great. And so what we're going to do is each panelist is going to go and give a quick overview of what their service does and how it fits into the federated social networking space. Then we're going to talk about what federation is, what it means, what the future looks like, some of the benefits. The second topic is we're going to talk about the components and the building blocks of federation. And the third part will be the future, about how we see this evolving, and in particular the impact of federated social networks on communications. Okay, so Anil, why don't you get started?
Yeah, so High5 is the third largest social networking site on the internet right now, behind Facebook and MySpace. We are the #1 site in about 25 countries worldwide. Over 80% of our traffic comes internationally. That means outside of the U.S. Some of the top countries where we are the #1 social network are Portugal, Mexico, Thailand, and primarily we are also the #1 social networking site in all of Latin America, so all the way from Mexico to Argentina. So in terms of how we support federating of social networks, since November of last year, we've adopted open platform, which is the OpenSocial platform. We've seen a great uptake in terms of both user adoption on our site as well as the number of applications that are coming on High5. We have over around 850 applications live on High5. Over 60% of our users currently use these applications. And as we continue to grow and expand in new countries, we are seeing more and more users adopting and feeling the power of what it means to be open.
Great. So Friendster was the first online social network back in late 2002 and launched public beta in 2003. It's since grown to be the 7th largest website in the world of any kind in terms of traffic. So a lot of people don't realize that 7 out of the top 20 websites in the world based on traffic are social networks that did not exist 5 years ago. So it's not a fad. Social networking is not a fad. It's here to stay, because your friends are here to stay, and you're always going to socialize using tools that are easy to use, that help you do what you want to do. So Friendster now has 70 million registered users around the world. Over 50 million of those are in Asia. So Friendster is the #1 social network in Asia, at least 2 times bigger than anyone else in Asia. So that's important to us, and I think to developers, our users, and the world, because 38% of all internet users are actually in Asia. So it's a good place to be strong and growing, and we're looking forward to the next couple of years there. In terms of openness and platforms and how this relates to the topic today, there are several social networks, including Friendster and MySpace, that for the last couple of years have been open in the sense that you could add any type of content into your profile page. Videos, HTML, Flash widgets. That was kind of the first stage of opening up social networks. You could look at a public profile and you can add as a user anything you wanted to that profile page. Back about a year ago, there were several social networks, Friendster, Facebook, High5, and others, that started launching developer programs. And those developer programs provide a set of APIs and the terms of service for their use for developers to extract information about users and their friends' networks and do something special, innovative with them, and potentially put back those, that application or that feature back into the social network on the profile page. But it's not exclusively for that. You can actually use data through these APIs for browser plugins, desktop applications, mobile applications. But it all started primarily around third parties building applications or features for social networks to introduce what they have to the tens of millions, literally hundreds of millions of users around the world that are now on social networks. So we've got a very vibrant developer program, thousands of developers, about 10 million of our users have added apps, and about 400 different apps are live today, all from third parties. So we'll be building on that over time.
Patrick?
So hi everybody. There are a few topics I wanted to talk about. First, what is OpenSocial? And actually the three networks that are present here, plus Google, are all part of the OpenSocial initiative. OpenSocial is a standard for the social web. The goal of it is to establish a standard in order for developers who create the social application, which is an application that accesses your friend, their profile information, and eventually can post your activity stream, so that instead of having to recreate their application on top of each network's API, that all the network gather together to create a standard in this area. So for social network, what we're trying to achieve with OpenSocial is the same kind of standardization that TCP/IP brought in networks, or HTTP for network applications. So that's what OpenSocial is. It was introduced in November, and now there are, I don't know, there must be 6 or 10 networks that are live, and many of them who are going to come live in the next few months. At Google, we have 2 social networks that are enabled with OpenSocial: Orkut, which is huge in Brazil, and iGoogle, which is pretty big in the US. In terms of numbers, OpenSocial is, so the spec was in November, but it was really the first networks, which were MySpace and High5, shipped in, I think, in April, so it's very recent. But already we have, we reach out to 275 million users. There's been 66 million applications installed out of 2,000 applications. And there's 20,000 developers in the developer programs of all the partners right now. So there's a lot of momentum. There's 10 million daily application users today. In terms of what the API is, there's a JavaScript API, which means which allows for a programming model where you have a website where you provide some functionality, and instead of providing it on your website, you move your website in the context of the social network where the users are spending their time. So that's what OpenSocial offers today. But very recently, a month ago, we specified a REST API which allows you to do the reverse move, which is get access to the social graph from your website. So here you're pulling the social graph on your website. And this REST API, if you're in the mobile space, will be very important because it allows you to start building some social applications that will be accessible on mobile phone. So if you have some engineers who are interested in this topic, it was specified recently. It's going to be implemented in the next few months in the first networks. So it's really time to get started looking at it. Now, in terms of federation, at Google, we have a product called Google Friend Connect. And I know that many of you are from the telecom world. Just before this session, I was talking to my friend Stéphane Terral, who's hosting, we're doing surfing together. And he's hosting another session in the other room about session boards controllers. I told him, I just don't understand what is this. And when he explained me what that was, essentially, Friend Connect is like a session board controller managing the peering agreement between the social networks to allow any website to become a social site. So on Friend Connect today, when you register a website, you can have a few pieces of JavaScript that you add to your site, and that will allow users who come to your site to sign in and link their identities from Plaxo or from Google to start interacting with their friends on your site using OpenSocial applications. And we expect that Friend Connect will play the same kind of role that session boards controllers play in the telecom world, managing security, translation between the various APIs, mediation, and operations.